Welcome to the Fold Mysteries, where we seek to discover everything that lies between the folds of reality. So, back after what feels like forever. It was just 1 week, but it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, you've been busy, like with a capital B-Z,
Yeah,
busy. Where have
busy,
you
busy.
gone? I mean, holy smokes. I mean, inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, so I was out in Chicago this past weekend. We left Thursday, which is why we didn't have a show last Thursday. I was driving to Chicago. 5.5 hour trip turned into a 9 hour trip because traffic was awful, awful. They closed I-90 down on us, which I was trying to avoid I-90. It was just crazy, but the whole thing was just so much fun. And if anybody wants to see a little bit of our adventures, I posted on my Facebook page. You can find it there. It's all public. But I didn't post about everything. Like we did all kinds of stuff. We did a fun maze that I didn't talk about at all, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely worth the trip. Um, but um, I mean, I did get to go to the Kentucky Bigfoot Conference.
Oh, surprise.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. That was a surprise. And I got to meet Matt Langford, who is a Bigfoot researcher out of Texas. And I
Okay,
knew he
right
was going to
on.
be there. So I was like, well, if I'm ever going to meet him, this is the only chance I'm going to get. So I traveled there. And I also met some other really great people like Asa Adair, Greg Ogles. I got to meet Matt Langford, we've been friends for years. Finally got to meet in person. I got to see Kyle, Kyle, and Ken Gearhart, and I saw Adam Davies while I was there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and so that was a long time no see. So it was pleasant. It was all right. And um, then oh gosh, and then I saw Russ. It was really good to see him. I've always really liked Russ. Um, and then I got to meet just all kinds of awesome people, just all kinds of awesome people.
Yep,
So it was a good
yep.
time.
You
And
know, oh, go ahead.
well, I was also going to say I'm going to throw one more thing else in there. Draco, where are you? Come here. My mom, for anybody that doesn't know, not to put a bad light on everything, but my mom passed away several years ago, and I bought her a dog, and he's been with my stepdad, but my stepdad just gave him to me. So this is my new dog.
Oh, I got goosebumps. I've
So,
got goosebumps all over. That's awesome.
yep, I named him when she first got him. She let me name him, so his name's Draco, and now he's my little puppy.
That's so. Oh my gosh, I just that's so cool. That is so cool. That was awesome of him to do.
Yeah. Well, he was. I said, hey, you can keep Draco as long as you want because I figured he might be lonely after my mom passed, and um, he called me and he said, hey, Draco is a lot to take care of, and I just want to know if you want to come pick him up. So I did, and so here's Draco, my new dog.
Oh my gosh, you gotta get him a little folds thing.
Yeah, I need one for all three of my dogs.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got three
yeah,
dogs.
yeah. That's
Oh, too
true.
many dogs. Too many
And
dogs.
yeah, well, that's cool. That's awesome. That's so cool. I'm like I said, that gives me goosebumps. That was such a kind gesture to do.
Yeah, it was really sweet. Yeah,
And you were talking about the Texas Bigfoot Conference and how Matt
Kentucky.
Langford oh yeah, oh god dang, no, because Matt's from Texas. That's
Yes.
what got in my mind. But if he were to come up to the MBC, you could see him again. Just throwing that out there, Matt.
Yeah. There you go, Matt. Personal invite. So Matt did give me some really cool stuff since we, haven't seen each other ever, and so it was really cool. He got me this,
Right.
and he got me this. So this says "Gone Squatching."
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, it just some really cool stuff. So it was really just a pleasure to get to see him and meet him for the first time. So it was really
So
fun.
that's way cool. I got to ask you now. Do you have like a she shed or a she cave or something like that with all your Bigfoot paranormal stuff that you
I do
just all your
not.
collectibles? Not yet.
It's just all over my bedroom. I've got
Yeah.
a big banner of Bigfoot, posing in like a boudoir pose, all over above my bed. I've got it's all over my walls.
Oh my gosh, way cool, way cool. Yeah, I got footprints over there. I got footprints in the other room. You should come here and see this place sometime. Oh,
Yeah.
well, you might. I mean, if you come to the NBC.
Right. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, well, you were out, traipsing around. I was doing a little traipsing around in the woods too myself. So in 2023, October 6th of 2023, during the Minnesota Bigfoot Conference in the morning, there was a family of three who were out driving around looking for grouse. Lo and behold, they looked down this one road. Here we go, and they seen an 8.5 tall black black Bigfoot on the side of the road, back facing the forest, front part facing the road, and they said it was like they think it was foraging and stuff like that. So I tracked them down. I met up with them. I was out in that location on the third. I got goosebumps. I was out in the location with them on the 30th, doing size comparison and height and stuff like that. They said I looked absolutely small compared to what they seen, and so I went down to where the area was, and we did a size comparison or height comparison. And lo and behold, this thing was about 8 feet 8 inches tall, just about 4 feet under, or 4 inches under 9 feet tall, and it was really cool. And then it moved, looked at them, and took 3 steps to get across the road. And looking where this creature was at, wondering why or what it was doing. Come to find out, there is acorns there. There is also American ginger there, which, yeah, so this kind of research helps because it could have been gathering acorns, or it could have been looking for ginger. Ginger helps aid in digestion. Also, if it has like a sore tooth or something like that, sometimes the ginger itself is let it sit in that area, kind of numbs it up, kind of like a clove would for a toothache too. Yeah.
That's great.
So.
Great
Yeah, so going to that spot, found that out. It's a lot of food sources. It's not too far where Sammy Cleveland had his sighting in 2016. Not too far from where some footprints were casted. Oh my gosh! Wow, 20 years ago, in 6/6 of '06, is where the road grader came upon these footprints. And I mean, I got a print right back there, but so yeah, and plus I've been researching this area myself, and I've had wood knocks come out of this area too, so I know it's an active area. So that was one area. I go to another. I was also in the Gillies too, into an area where there's possible TP formation. I go back there and I switch the SD card out, and I get that down, throw some marshmallows around, and what else? I put a bag of apples. So going back out there this coming weekend, just to kind of see what the SD card is looking like and replace the batteries. I put a 64 gigabyte SD card in there, so it's going to hold a lot more data than what was the SD card that was previously in there. But just to basically make sure the batteries are running longer. And then I caught up. So that was like Friday, Saturday, the 3rd. I met up with a family. 30th, not the 3rd, but the 30th. Then I also met up with a person who had a Class B encounter on Memorial Day, the 25th. And then I went to Pops' place, picked him up. We went out and did some call blasting and went to the place where we filmed Finding Bigfoot, where we were getting woods coming out of the cedar swamp. So we were doing some wood knocks there and stuff like that. And we had a vocalization. I can't say it was Bigfoot. I will not say it's Bigfoot, but it was just a one small whoop, like that. Could have been anything. Cool. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. Just spending time out there with Pops and stuff like that. It's always a great time. And then again, heading back out to the field again this weekend. So that is cool. For those who want to see that, I did record that. You can look for Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team here on where are we on YouTube? And also on our Minnesota Bigfoot Research Team TV on Facebook, also on Instagram and TikTok. So check us out, y'all. God bless you.
Excuse me. Okay.
You know,
Without further ado, oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, you were talking about a lot of awesome people here, and our guest is one of them.
Oh yeah.
Is somebody who I looked up and still look up to. We don't talk as much as we do, but when I had the opportunity of meeting him, um, we clicked. We were on the same page of a lot of things, and so I it's like I got to get this guy on here. There's so much in the Bigfoot community now that I don't agree with. We'll just put it that way. But everybody has a right to their opinion, and being open-minded too. That's why I wanted to get this gentleman on. But if you would like to introduce him and read the bio, we can. I'll let you take it from there.
Okay. All right. Welcome, Darren W. Lee, aka DW Darkwing. Welcome to the Fold Mysteries.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Yay! So glad you're here, bud.
Yeah, we're so
Thanks.
happy to have you be a part of the show. I'll do a little introduction for you. Darren W. Lee, aka DW Darkwing, has been researching Bigfoot officially since 1991, with his first trip to Fouke, Arkansas, after watching The Legend of Boggy Creek. His first experience with Bigfoot was back in 1977, when just a mile through the woods from his boyhood home in Peavine, Oklahoma, Bigfoot hoax made headlines. In 1997, DW started the Greene County Bigfoot Research Center in Oklahoma, which soon grew across the United States. It was renamed the Mid-American Bigfoot Research Center, the second largest research group in the United States, MABRC, which DW directs, has members in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and several other countries. Besides being an excellent field investigator, DW is the catalyst behind the Bigfoot Field Guide media outlets. From newsletters, magazines, podcasts, and books, through these outreaches, the MABRC has sought to broaden the education of Bigfoot community. Currently, DW is working on Project Valkyrie, which is a project using thermal drop boxes, audio drop boxes, UTV equipped with thermal and DVRs, and with thermal drone capabilities. In addition, he has begun developing AI to be used in Bigfoot research, with the first venture being an in-depth analysis of sighting reports in the United States, Canada, and Australia. Wow, that's amazing.
And I got this right here handy. I just want to show it.
All right.
This is the AI research on Bigfoot sightings for just North America alone.
Wow.
Oh boy!
So,
Wow.
That's
Wow. Oh, wow. Can I see the front cover of that? Do you mind? So is that can people go buy that?
yeah.
Where is it on
Yeah,
sale?
and just make sure down here at the bottom it says United States edition, or it'll say Canada edition or Australian edition.
Wow.
And I think it's safe to assume that each edition focuses on that continent or that region.
Yeah.
So-
Here's the Canada edition. It's they don't
Not as big.
so. And
Yeah.
of course, like I said, the Canada
wow.
edition on the bottom,
That's some beautiful artwork.
and there is the Australian edition. So
And if you want all editions, by all means, go out and get all editions.
Yeah.
and they're all on Amazon. So
Right on, man.
Nice.
Wow, very cool.
So go ahead, Ed.
Oh no, okay, yeah. So this started with the Legend of Boggy Creek, like a lot of people, man. And when your first encounter, I was wondering if we could start off with your first encounter, just within a mile of your childhood home.
well, what it was, it turned out to be a hoax, but we've actually
That's
talked
what
to
it
we actually talked to the original researchers of that incident back in 2003, I believe it was, and they said what it was this young man claimed that a Bigfoot had come up to his back porch and attacked him. Well, when they took the hair samples and sent them off, it come back as being from a donkey. But basically, when we talked to the researchers, they said, well, what happened was there was a family down the road from this kid who was actually having Bigfoot activity, and he knew about it, so he just created this story for attention.
Mm.
But yeah, that was about the same time that we had the $6 Million Man battling Bigfoot in the series. And I was just a young kid and I had a moped. And mopeds, you were lucky if you got over 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And my dad told me drive home from town to our house, which was out in the country. And I had to go down the darkest road there was. And all I could think about was, I can only do 15 miles an hour, and Bigfoot it was clocked at 60 in the TV show, you know. So, and I'm really pedaling as hard as I can, trying to get that moped going faster. And I was like, I'm dead. No matter what I do, that Bigfoot's going to outrun me.
By 45 miles per hour.
Yeah. But
your shoes must have been smoking. Oh.
But yeah, that really actually got my interest going. But then after I went into the Army and, you know, went around the world and all that crap, I come back and I watched The Legend of Boggy Creek, and I was like, well, wait a minute. That's only a couple of hours south of me. So I drove down there and tinkered around for 3 or 4 days, and had the bug after that. Come back and then found out that there was activity going on around Stillwell where I live, and we started going out and looking, and next thing you know, we found what we was looking for. Had quite a few incidents that happened, and it just progressed from there.
Wow. Wow. That's, you know, yeah. Well, I mean, once you get bit after having an incident, there's no going back. And especially, you know, I've never seen one. So I was bit just by having an incident myself. But you have found them, so to speak. Yeah. Right? How many sightings have you had, bud?
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's our area is pretty active. Matter of fact, where you've went camping with us before, when you come down, Robert Swain, about 6 years ago, had his first sighting of a Bigfoot, and it was crossing the road right in front of him.
Wow.
So,
wow.
And Robert Swain, you know, he's a preacher.
Yeah.
He come walking up to me. He goes, I don't know if I really believe this myself, but DW, I had a sighting. And, you know,
wow.
Robert's so on the up and up. I just was like focused in on him. It's like, okay, you tell me everything you want to know. I mean, that you want me to know, because when he said he had a sighting, you know, it's
something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So you've had your own sightings, correct?
Correct.
So what was your first sighting like?
My first sighting was basically my wife and the kids, they like to do the ghost hunting thing. That was when taps first come out and ghost hunters. So we had went out to this one cemetery, and we went in and was taking pictures. And when we come out, me and my oldest daughter, she had a parabolic in her hand, and I had a night vision scope. And there was a parking lot there, and then it dropped off down into a creek. And so we was like, well, let's, you know, see what we can see with the night scope. And as we're starting to walk across there, a Bigfoot pops up from chest high up over the bank and looks at me, and then lowers down. And she heard the movement of it going up and down, and it moved over a couple of feet, and it raised back up and looked at us again, lowered itself down, and then it run off down into the creek. And I was sitting there like, did I just see what I thought I saw? Because I used night vision in the military, so, you know, I knew what a person looked like with it.
Right.
And at the same time, we had this real bad fish smell, like 4-week-old dead fish.
Yep.
And eventually we've come to know that there is a Bigfoot in this general area that apparently he likes to eat fish because he smells like dead fish.
Right.
And you know, I think we've had roughly, I'd have to really count, 5 or 6 encounters with this same Bigfoot, and you can smell him way before he gets close to you.
Wow.
But that was my first one, and then it just kind of there for a while. As we got farther and farther into it, it roughly translated eventually to having 24 encounters that I could say was actually Bigfoot. But
Wow.
you know, that's out of 4,000 times I've been in the woods. I've been in the woods since I was a kid, you know, running through the woods.
Yeah.
And I was even in the Boy Scouts for a long time, and we used to play flashlight tag out there in the woods.
Yeah.
And now that I'm sitting here years later, you know, researching Bigfoot, I'm like, how many times did we run by a Bigfoot and didn't even know he was standing there watching us?
That's so true.
So
That's so true. Yeah, when I was a kid, me and my cousins at my grandma's place, there was always these weird sort of dome, like we called them igloo houses, and they were very soft, like mossy, and the moss was brought in from the outside and like stacked in there, and we would go in there and play in them as kids, and they had interwoven branches and everything else where the sun wouldn't even shine through all the way. And I would tell my mom about them. She was like, those grow like that. And I'm like, I don't think so. But there was several of them, and we'd play them as kids all the time. And I think kids bring curiosity to them. I think they're curious by children.
oh yeah, we try to capitalize on their curiosity
Yeah.
when we're out researching. We've used everything from and people may laugh or whatever about it, but we've done everything from showing porn movies to fireworks to giant inflatables out in the middle of fields trying to get them to come out.
That's cool.
And we've also used crying baby CDs, which has been pretty effective. It's just when you're sitting out there in the dark, there's not too many people that can actually handle the crying baby in the dark and then hearing everything come running up towards you.
Oh man.
So
So
you even have coyotes doing, you know, running up at you. So
yeah, well, I would feel like a human crying baby almost sounds like an injured small animal as well, in their minds, maybe.
yeah,
I could imagine.
yeah, we did it one time, and a white Bigfoot come tromping down the side of a ridge, and my middle son was with me, and it popped out on the road, and it was real dark. We could just barely make it out that it was standing there, and it turned and looked at us, and I just got this impression that it was really pissed off because it realized there ain't no crying baby there. It's just a car sitting there.
Wow.
And as it stormed back up, the boy turned at me and he goes, we ain't playing the crying baby CD no more.
Yeah. I think you already answered that question that just popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah. 26. I don't know if you were here for that. 26 total sightings.
I was listening on my phone because I want to pay attention to the chat room too. So my battery died on my laptop. I was still listening, and I was going up and down and over the ridge. Yeah. So that's wow! Holy smokes, 26, and that's just out of the 4,000 times that you've been in the woods.
Yeah,
that's wild.
So,
oh my gosh.
I'm very curious. Okay, so I know that you've done all this amazing work with, spreading knowledge about Bigfoot in the in your group, but I'm curious about the AI. How you're implementing AI into the field of Bigfoot research, and like what you're really focusing on finding through the AI.
Well, a friend of mine, Stephen James, he presented at the Oklahoma Bigfoot Symposium that we put on. And he had come across AI being used to filter through audio recordings,
Mm.
and it could actually tell you how many of one species was in an area based on their noise. And you could also tell it how to find more instances of a certain noise. So he brought me a big old binder, and we started working on implementing those servers to where we could input our audio. And then I started finding other ways to use the AI, like doing the report on the sightings. It analyzed, basically, it gives you the hair color, the most known hair color for the state, the height. I mean, it gives you a ton of information. There's probably about 10 charts for each state based on, what it analyzed. And then I started putting into it, okay, Pete Travers, who is a
Oh yeah, Pete. Yeah.
He had a drawing that had a 6-foot person and 2 Bigfoot, well, a Bigfoot and I think a Yeti, standing there to show the size difference.
Yep.
And a long time ago, the MABRC, he gave us permission to use his stuff, and we had put a police lineup height chart behind them. So I threw that into AI and told it to make that into a more realistic picture. And wow, it come out and just totally blew us away on what it did.
Wow.
I recently seen that. It looks pretty amazing, man. And I
Yeah.
remember back in the day, those side-by-sides. Wasn't one like supposed to be Gigantopithecus tropical, and the other was a different Gigantopithecus versus a 6-foot man?
Yeah, and I even did different hair colors of Bigfoot. So, they're all lined up basically in the woods to where you can see what the hair colors would kind of look like on them.
Wow.
And then I started getting into actual sighting sketches that people have done, and even just the description of their sightings. And it would generate a 3D image of what it would look like. The one where I actually come across 2 Bigfoot carrying a calf on their shoulders.
Right.
That really turned out really great on the 3D image.
Mm.
So you basically, you're utilizing AI to categorize the key aspects within several Bigfoot encounters and be able to basically have it categorize what is most common for certain areas.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And then, of course, like
Genius.
I said, we're using it to go through our audio, because we'll put our audio drop boxes out there for 3 or 4 days at a time. And we're not talking about just one drop box. We're talking about almost a dozen drop boxes in an area when we do it.
Wow.
And when we having to sit there and go through 4 days worth of audio per recorder, there's not really any time efficient way to do it except for just run it through AI, let AI pick out things, and then you can go back and see what it found.
Wow, that's genius.
I think our last guest, Nathan, was kind of talking about that, where they put it through a spectrograph, and because it takes hours to run audio, and I'm not a big fan of audio myself because it takes so long. But if you run it through a spectrograph and you have the AI look for different spikes and pitches, then it can pick out that part to analyze.
Did Nathan actually talk about using AI, or did he say he was doing it? I think I missed the AI part.
Did he say that about AI, or was you might? I know he said something. Oh,
I do remember he was using the spectrogram to look at all of the pitches and stuff. But I think it's a great idea, DW, how you're using AI to shortcut all of that time-taking work and just have it look for those certain pitches and peaks that you're looking for. That way you automatically get it pulled and you get to see it immediately almost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be honest, with all the servers that I'm running in my computer room here, I'm like you right now. It don't matter how much I run that AC, it still gets warm in here. So
Oh, I can only imagine. Oh my gosh. So did you guys create your own AI program to do this, or did you kind of tweak an existing one?
well, we actually tweaked an existing one because several of your bird watching groups and
Hmm.
stuff like that, they've been working on it, but we tweaked it to where it listens for the sounds that we want it to listen to.
Ah,
And it's basically the same thing that the federal wildlife uh, department uses to count how many different types of one bird is in an area, or even crickets.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
that's so smart.
so they compare the noises and they can tell each individual uh, insect or bird that's making the noise. I mean,
That's
Down to
awesome.
the individual noise that it makes for
yeah,
that individual species.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Genius to use that to look for Bigfoot sounds.
yeah. And
Genius.
like I
Wow.
said, Stephen James is the one that brought it to us. And it took us several years to really get it rolling just because, you know, we have day jobs and
Yeah.
families and
Oh
Mhm.
stuff like
yeah.
that. So we can only
Yeah.
work on it so much.
Yeah. I think that's also great because it also helps it helps prevent misidentification.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't sound like what you're looking for, it could potentially tell you what it actually is.
Yeah. Now, there is times when it does detect something that it can't figure out.
Hmm.
I will go and listen for like an hour before and an hour after the event,
Smart.
personally, just so I can hear what's going on. Because Randy Rebellistic Savage, he's our audio guru.
Oh,
And
yay, Randy.
yeah, uh, so you know, Abe can tell you, uh, Randy is about 6'5", and we can mistake him for Bigfoot in the woods real quick.
Great guy. Good
So
bunch group guys, gals. Yep.
yeah, uh, but he has taught me really well that, hey, when you hear an event, go back, listen 15, 30 minutes ahead and behind, and see if you catch anything that can tie into that.
Right.
Yeah,
You
it kind of
know,
helps tell you what it is. Where you're
exactly. Yeah. It also kind of gives you like the layout of how the woods were before that event and how it was after. So, yeah, very good idea to do that. You were going to say something, Gwendolyn?
Oh no, I was gonna because I felt like I interrupted you. I was telling you to go ahead.
Oh, no,
Sorry.
no, we're good.
Um, so yeah, I think that's totally genius. So the United States book. How long did it take you to compile all that information for that book?
Well, now that's what's really something. It took me 3 days to compile the information, but it took me a week to put it all in book form.
Mm, wow.
So you think, and that wasn't just 3 days solid. That was a couple hours here, then go do something, come back, do a couple more hours.
Yeah.
Uh, but the AI did all the work. It would actually go out, find everything. It even put down the links, and I've got the links. I just didn't put them in the book because
Mm,
it really didn't do nobody any good.
right.
But I could follow those links to where it used that information, and I told it to pull off of BFRO reports, uh, the MABRC reports, uh, NAWAC, and
Oh, wow.
GCBRO. The four big databases, and I told it MABRC because we also have the International Bigfoot Society. We have all their uh, sighting reports listed on our form.
Mm,
So we got not just ours, but we have all these other sites that have basically went away in the past, and we managed to save them, so we haven't lost that to posterity.
good thinking.
Yeah, that's the mabrc.com/forums.
Yeah. Now I will say our web server is down right at the moment.
Okay.
I had a hardware failure 2 weeks ago, but
Oh no.
I got the new server sitting here.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it's right here underneath my desk. I just got to get time to get it back up.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
But we've got Squatchopedia on there. We've got Bigfoot Field Guide. We've got the MABRC website and the forums. I mean, it hosts all of our websites. It's just the motherboard died on the other
No.
server, so I got one just like it sitting here. It's just I got to get it to play right.
Amongst
Oh my
all the other
gosh.
things you have going on, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
that's my career though. Is I'm a network analyst working for IBM, and I got my own computer company, and so I've been doing it for 30 some odd years.
Wow.
You are the IT guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Amazing. When you're inputting all this information into the AI, are you in hopes of like for me, my problem is I'm on their heels, but I want to be on their toes. I've been where they've been, but I want to be where they're going. Are you trying to look to see if the AI can help you with any type of a pattern where you could be in that location before they get there in the general vicinity?
Yeah. What you do is when you use AI, you use what's called prompts. Basically, the prompt is you describe to it what you want it to do and what you want it to bring back. And I have been putting in there, I want to know the sighting patterns for a certain area, by year, by season, by time.
By weather, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. And if it can find where those sightings occurred actually in the area and be able to plot them, then that goes and helps you get a visualization of where they're traveling and everything.
Mm.
So
this is a lot of data that you're storing to be able to ask these questions through these prompts. So all this information that you're storing, is it pulling that information from the web, or is it storing it in an external hard drive, or is it storing it in a cloud? I'm just fascinated. Sorry.
Yeah, basically all three. We actually we have a file server here for the MABRC that roughly contains about 40 terabytes of
Wow.
data, screen capture. I mean, everything that's happened in the Bigfoot community. I go and somebody posts even the crappy pictures that are either hoaxed or blob squatches or whatever. We save those. We save a little bit of information with it. So that way, 10 years down the road, if it pops back up, we already got the information. We know what's going on.
Wow.
Which goes back to why I also run Bigfoot Hoaxers Exposed 2.0.
Love that.
People try to bring pictures from 20 years ago and say, "Oh, I took this in my backyard yesterday." Nah, just go play somewhere else. But we know that picture was here before, So.
Yeah, that's so smart. So smart.
I got a picture to send you then. Oh my gosh.
I'm curious about these drop boxes. Can you tell us a little bit about those and your intention and the purpose behind those?
Okay, so we'll start with the audio drop boxes and then segue over to the thermal drop boxes. The audio drop boxes is basically a tube, a PVC tube with a hook on top, and it's camouflaged. And what I can do is I can put the recorder up in the bottom of it, and it keeps it dry, keeps birds from pecking at it or whatever. And then I've got a pole that's got a hook on it, well, a round hook that goes, basically the hook on the top of the drop box goes here, and you lift it up, and you can lift it about 20 feet up into a tree and hook it over a branch. And nobody can see it. I mean, they'd have to be standing right there and look up and really be looking to see where it's at.
Yeah.
Uh, this keeps somebody from walking off with it. Uh, you know, the Bigfoot are in the area. They don't know what's up there.
Right.
Mhm.
They just walk by it, and we can leave it up there for 3 or 4 days. I think the longest we've had them up there was about 4 days, and then the batteries run out.
Hmm.
Uh, and we can get around that because we can put a D cell battery in there and put a dowel rod into the recorder and let it run off the D cell battery, which will make it last longer.
Hmm. Yeah.
We learned that trick from Tesla research.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, but yeah, you just go down through there and we hang them out. You get a GPS location, so later when we're sitting down evaluating the information, we can triangulate the information as we record it. You know, okay, this one over here heard something. Did this one hear something, or did this one? And we can kind of figure out where they were at when they made the noise.
Very interesting.
So,
Great.
uh,
So these are kind of LDRs in a way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, just a second.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. I think that's genius. I mean, and to have multiples hanging out in an area where you can kind of hear how far away it is and then try to triangulate where they were when you heard the sound.
Yeah, and with say 6 drop boxes, we can actually cover a 10 square mile area easily.
Oh man.
Then we have the thermal drop boxes that basically work on the same principle. We have these ammo boxes that are watertight, and we've mounted a thermal camera in it, but we've also put a super ear,
Okay.
and they both run into a little DVR inside the box, and they run off of a where did I have that battery at? Well, I just had the battery here a while ago. We use battery packs, and these battery packs will last 22 to 27 hours.
Wow.
And it all records the audio and the video from the thermal camera. That way we have 2 types of evidence right there together. It puts it into one video file.
Right.
And
Yeah.
just to make sure we don't lose it, we drop a GPS tracking device in there.
Mhm.
And
Smart.
that way if somebody decides they want to take off with it, hey, we can track it down and get our
Yep.
thermal camera back.
So smart.
But these are small enough that we can just set it down in the bushes overlooking an area and just let it record, or just leave it on the trail and let it look down the trail. Our last expedition, we actually left it going in camp while we were on the trails with the Valkyrie, with the thermals on it. And we didn't have it pointed exactly in the right direction that I was hoping for, because we did catch what we suspect is a Bigfoot standing outside of our camp while we were on the trails.
Ah.
So, but then, you know, we can leave these drop boxes, the audio or the thermal. Say we thought we saw something walking across a trail, we can drop either one right there, just let them keep on recording, and we keep on going, and they don't even realize we dropped anything off. So they just watch us go on down the trail, and then if they come out, boom, we got them. So,
Nice. And how many? Oh, go ahead.
You go ahead.
How many of those units do you have?
I've got 6 of the audio drop boxes, and I did have 5 of the thermal drop boxes. But to do the Valkyrie, we had to scavenge 3 of the thermals out of them to put on the Valkyrie.
All right. Yeah.
So, but I still have 2 of them that I can drop off wherever I want.
That's cool. Sneaky
So-
guys, man. Watching camp and waiting for you guys to go so we can come in and raid your food.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Do you have anywhere where people can go to see some of the audio and video evidence you've collected?
Yeah, once I get the websites back.
Okay.
We do have Project Valkyrie on the on Facebook, where we've got pictures of the Valkyrie and the drop boxes, and it's you'll know it because it's got a Bigfoot banner on it. Matter of fact, I believe it's. I'll have to look here, but I bet you it's probably got a side by side there with a Bigfoot standing beside it. Let's see here.
Wow. And so with doing that, have you had more luck with your audio drop boxes versus the thermal so far?
Well, yeah, we've had a lot more success with the audio drop boxes just because we've used them for so long.
Okay.
But we're in, I believe, our 3rd year of the thermal drop boxes, and this is actually basically within the 1st year of the Valkyrie.
Right. Yep.
So and then we also have our thermal drone that we carry in the Valkyrie that when we see something off in the distance, if we got clear enough space there above us, we can send the drone up and fly it over there and look down and see what we got.
Yep.
First time we ever used it, we were shocked to find that there was 3 deer standing just about 10 feet from us over in the underbrush.
Oh, wow.
They heard us pull up, heard us talking, the whole 9 yards, but they just stood there and kept on eating. And the thermal drone caught it, and it's like, holy cow. Just amazing how close they can be to you and not even realize it.
Exactly. Yeah. Food does wonders, man. I'm telling you. They haven't been hungry. Makes you brave. And with that being said, have you ever tried, and I'm pretty sure you have, you've done a lot, putting food out for the creatures, and what have you noticed that they, if anything, that they like to, do they take it all? Are they picky?
Most of the time, they try to wait until you leave before they even come up and get the food. So we got a policy that we put the food out, we either destroy the food before we leave or we take it with us. Because we don't want them to get used to the fact, okay, well, we'll just wait them out, and when they leave, we'll go and get the food. No, food goes with us, and if you don't want to come and get it while we're there, then too bad. But, we also, when we put food out, we'll put a thermal on it, and we rule out a lot of small animals going and eating the food. A lot of people don't realize that when they put stuff out, bait for Bigfoot, 99.9% of the time, it's not Bigfoot eating it. It's small critters.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. And,
Very true.
I've caught raccoons. They love the apples. So I know there's a big old raccoon in one of our areas that might be good eating.
Stop. Not the little babies.
Yeah, there was one time that we had a 10-pound bass that we had hung up in the woods trying to attract them. And we really pissed them off because when it come time for us to leave, we didn't leave the bass there. We took the bass and we put it in the burn barrel and burned it because, we couldn't eat it ourselves because it'd been out there in the heat and raw.
Right. Yeah.
But apparently it had pissed them off so damn bad that we burned it. They took the burn barrel and tossed it almost halfway across the field that it was at.
Whoa.
So.
Oh.
That's wild.
Well, yeah, right. With that happening, Are you guys set up to collect fingerprint dust, industrial prints and stuff?
Yeah, I've actually got a kit here that, when we go on expeditions, I'll try to remember to throw it in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got fingerprint kit, DNA collection.
Mm.
So
That's cool.
And of course, the MABRC, we have all these protocols in place and procedures on how to collect the evidence.
Mm.
So everybody's on the same page. And so, if you come in and you have evidence, there's a good chance that you haven't contaminated it if you followed the procedures.
Right. Yep. I totally get that. Totally get that. Have you been lucky enough, or when you are setting food out there, are you hearing them in the background running around, or like? Because I'm sure that they know that you're there, and you're approaching probably the same spot every time that you do leave food out there. Are you? And when you're arriving, are they? Can you hear them in the distance, or are you going in there, laying it down, and just stepping back and kind of waiting with a thermal camera?
Yeah, we'll go out and put it out, and then we'll step back and put a thermal camera on it and just watch. But I'll tell you about an interesting little thing that happened to us one time. We had a base station up by one of our other researchers' house because they were having activity up there. So we took popcorn balls like you get at Halloween.
Yum.
And we found this little sapling, and we put them on this sapling tree.
Okay.
So basically, we made a popcorn ball tree. Well, we come back about a week later, they were all gone. So we put some more out there. And we noticed that there was some juvenile tracks coming up through some peat moss nearby to it. And so we come back a week later, and the tree was gone. It had been pulled out. And, this is just an assumption, speculation, however you want to call it. But I just had the impression in my head that this little Bigfoot was like, holy cow, this is a popcorn ball tree. It's all popcorn balls. I'm taking it back to, mom and dad and showing them.
I was imagining the same thing. Like, can we plant this, please?
That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, you can see where it had been pulled completely up and just taken. So, of course, we dn't have, a thermal on it at that time, but I wish we could have, because that would have been $1 million shot right there. That
would have been great. Wow.
So cool.
I'm going to have to try the popcorn balls. Huh.
Yeah. I load up on them every year and
that's smart.
Put them out. We'll be on an expedition. I'll put them out around out in the woods a little farther away from camp, just because they're sweet tasting,
Yeah. That's really smart. I'm kind of curious to hear about this Project Valkyrie. Can you tell us about that?
Okay. So, honestly, I'm starting to really get up in years, and I broke both my ankles, and my knees are getting shot. So I can't go hiking down trails at night, especially rocky trails, and I thought, well, I need a side-by-side to get down these trails. And at first we were taking, just handheld thermals and scanning, but you can't scan everything at once. So Valkyrie started evolving. Okay, let's put a camera on each side. We'll get a little DVR. We'll run it all off of a battery, and we'll put a screen up on the windshield of the side-by-side so we can actually see what we're passing as we're going down through there. And first couple of trips that we passed down through there with, I mean, you could see deer way out there. You could see raccoons. We would see what we would think were something that's standing on two legs. And so we started adjusting our idea and getting everything to where it would work better. We originally just dropped our thermal drop boxes on top of the back seat in the back of the side-by-side and use those. But as we would go down on the trail, they would actually flip over on their sides, and then you
Oh,
had
sure.
video.
Yep.
Yeah.
But now we have boxes actually mounted underneath the canopy of the side-by-side, and they're all the wiring is tucked in real nice and neat to conduit. It runs to a marine battery that will actually power the whole system for about a week.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
And so we tried it out officially back in November last year, and that's when we got quite a few hits. And I mean, it was really impressive what it could do. And then we took it back out in March because we didn't have the Oklahoma Bigfoot Conference because I had surgery New Year's Day, and I was still recovering, so I just couldn't put the event on. So we decided to have a little expedition instead. And so we went down the trails. I mean, we were putting it to the test. Just all kinds of stuff. We actually ended up 10 miles away from where we should have been because we was going down trails. Just we'd see a trail, it's like, let's go down that one. And we was in the Ozark National Forest, so there's thousands of trails in there.
Right.
But I also have my audio drop boxes hung on the rack behind me to where anytime I need them, I can just pop one off, put a recorder in there, put the stereo mic, hang it up, do a GPS reading. So I, especially at nighttime when it's dark, you can find it again. And the same for the thermal drop boxes. We can put them wherever. And then, like I said, if we come across a spot that we got a good hit, we got handheld thermals that we can get out of the side-by-side and walk towards it. And that's one of the things that is our protocol. If you see what you think is a Bigfoot, you take a handheld and you walk towards it while it's being recorded by the Valkyrie. And then if it stands up and proceeds to rip your arm off or whatever, we got it on video.
You got proof.
But, with the handheld, you can actually walk up to where it's at and you can see for yourself real quick what it is.
Wow.
That's why a lot of these people now that use thermals, they'll post something and say, "Oh, we got a Bigfoot. Look, it's way over there in our video." And it's like, did you walk towards it? I ain't got a death wish.
Yeah.
What are you out there for then?
Yeah.
Before my ankle broke, I would actually run into the underbrush after, if I heard something in the underbrush, boom, I was off after it because I wanted the Bigfoot to stand up in front of me so I could see it.
Yeah.
And, can't really do that no more. But the next best thing is have a thermal, unless it's evergreen trees in your way or cedar trees. You can see whatever's behind that stuff.
Yeah.
But nowadays the Valkyrie has actually extended our range. We can travel 20-30 miles at night in the woods. You can actually pull up in a clearing and just sit there and let it record all 4 different directions. I mean, we still have little gaps where the cameras, like the 2 that point here and then the 2 that point front and back.
Yeah.
On the corners, you'll have just a little bit of dead space.
Yeah.
But chances are, if a Bigfoot is walking around in the woods, eventually he's going to get in front of one of those cameras.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah, right. Wow, we both say wow.
So cool.
It's absolutely amazing. So, being ahead of and the director of the MABRC, and I like the protocol that you just mentioned, is that if there is a hit with Valkyrie, you take a handheld and walk towards it instead of driving the Valkyrie and possibly scaring it off. I can see why you got the protocol there.
yeah, I mean, what are we out there in the woods to do?
Right. Yeah.
To see one.
Yep.
And, if you're going to stop 300 feet away and say, oh, I got that heat spot way over there. No, don't pull that crap. Walk towards it
Yeah.
and see what's there. Uh, and that's just been the way I've been, all my research. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go towards it.
Yep.
If it jumps up and, like I said, pulls my arm off, hey, at least find my arm, because I'll probably have a handful of hair.
Yeah. Right. Hair,
So,
flesh under the nails, and everything like that.
yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm not going to go down without a fight, but
Right. Right. How many guys are on the MABRC now?
We're over 550 members.
Wow.
So, and when I get back into the web server, we probably got quite a few applications. We get probably 5 to 10 applications every 2 weeks.
Huh.
So,
Wow.
and not everybody does get to join, because
Right.
we, for lack of a better way of saying it, we had this mentality.
Mhm.
And if you don't fit in with our mentality, you're just not going to fit in at all. And we've actually had to part ways with people that have been in the group for a long time, who all of a sudden had a change of personality or change of attitude or agenda. And it conflicted with, the rest of the group.
Right.
The way I look at it, if more than 2 people have a problem with one person, it's probably not really the 2 people that have the problem. That is the problem. It's the one person.
Right. Yep.
And we got rid of a couple of people that basically rubbed a lot of people wrong. And when they said, well, I'm going to hit the door, and we like, well, don't let it hit you in the butt.
Yeah.
It's just, that's the way we are. We'll call you and have a interview with you and get a feel for how what you feel and think.
Mhm.
We don't do the woo stuff. Yeah. People ask me what I think Bigfoot is. It's like, well, it's a big screaming monkey in the woods. That's, it don't go through portals. It don't go and zap. I actually had a researcher in the group that he come up to me, and we just sent him down the trail with a Time Life magazine photographer. And I thought, okay, they're just going down the trail around there. And one of my other researchers went with him to kind of make sure he didn't pull anything extravagant. Well, they got down there on the trail, and all of a sudden he starts shaking and he falls down. I just got zapped. And he was, a rodeo clown. So, he was a entertainer. He got back up to camp, and he come running up to me, and I just fixed my plate for dinner. And he goes, DW, I just got zapped. And I stood there and I just looked at him. I was like, I sent you in down there with the Time Life photographer, and you did that. And the guys seen that I was getting ready to explode, so they come and pull me away from him. But after that, I told everybody, you come running up to me and say that you got zapped, I'm going to pull out a stun gun and zap you. Say, no, now you just got zapped.
Right. There is a difference.
So, because I think a lot of the people that claim that they got zapped, I think it's just their own fear. They get scared out there, and it just becomes overwhelming for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even, there's been times that I've got out there and had, I've had 2 instances where I did get scared. And one of my researchers will tell you the first thing that she was told is, if you see DW running, don't ask questions, just try to keep up.
Yeah.
Because, if it's too much for me, then you don't want to stick around. And so, everybody, their bottle fills up different. I do understand that. And some of them will get scared out there just, it's in their mind and everything. We actually had a special forces captain that went out with us, and we actually had eye shine all around the camp and rocks being thrown, and
Lucky.
yeah, and you can see the eye shine peering around the cars over there on the uh, road for the uh, logging company,
Mm.
and they were doing vocalizations, and I had went to bed because it was during the Hanobi Bigfoot conference, and I just got through putting on the event.
Mm.
So I was laying there trying to go to sleep, and we heard a vocalization close by. And I was like, guys, was that a vocalization? Yeah, okay. And I went back to sleep. But that was because I was used to, hearing all this stuff. But his bottle filled up real quick. They spent all night trying to talk him out of packing all of his stuff in the middle of the night and taking off.
That's funny.
So, and this is a special forces captain who's seen multiple tours overseas.
Mm.
So, when I say everybody's bottles feel differently,
Yep.
I understand, but the whole zapping thing, I really think is just the fear of the person that claims it.
I think it can be explained away in a rational and a scientific way as well. And there's different things that come into play that could trigger the body into a rapid heartbeat and feeling disoriented. It happened to me. And I had people around me when actually it's going on 10 years since I had that anxiety attack or panic attack, so to speak. And you know what? It's even happened to me when I'm not out in the woods too.
Yeah.
So, and when I was out in the woods, I was around a campfire, totally chill. I just got done eating. I was on my second s'more, and then my heart out of nowhere just started going real fast. I'm like, what the heck? The funny thing is, I don't know if it's funny or not, but I had two people there, and they're outdoor guides, and they said, well, I was, just trying to focus on my breathing. They heard two vocalizations from different locations. I cannot say that I got blasted or zapped by a Bigfoot because my body does react to different things.
Yeah.
Apparently, like over too much caffeine from energy drinks. I've cut back way on the energy drinks now. So, and honestly, I think that was a contributing. I mean, gas. Your body can even have that same reaction to gas too. So there's so many different things that could come into play besides Bigfoot zapping or blasting.
Well, like when you're stopped by a police officer and a second police car pulls up. That's when you start panicking, so.
That's true panic, yeah.
Do we have any questions out of the chat room?
We do, actually, which it's kind of interesting that you were talking about the zapping thing, because this is an interesting question to follow that. Do you, or have you experienced Dogman, or what are your thoughts on Dogman?
My thoughts on Dogman, I have not seen no proof, and that whole Dogman thing has exploded with Facebook. And this is something that Jim Whitehead talked to me about. The areas where that Dogman sighting started originating from are more Germanic descendants from Germany, and that area there, Austria, where they had werewolves.
Mm.
So they're seeing stuff that they, it's more than likely a Bigfoot, and they're putting it into their way of thinking. Okay, in our past history, we had werewolves, so this must be a Dogman, or whatever. But nobody has showed me any proof that there is any such thing as a Dogman, and I really don't follow that whole line of thought because it's hard enough for us to prove Bigfoot is out there. Now they want us to start saying that a Dogman is out there. And truthfully, if I do see a canine or even a wolf or whatever, uh, if it gets up on its hind legs, like it's trying to get up to a squirrel or something in a tree, then all of a sudden it turns into a dog man. No, it wasn't a dog man. It was a canine trying to get to a squirrel or something up a tree.
Mm.
So uh, basically, I try to look at facts as much as possible, and there's no
Mm.
facts. There's no facts that tell me that dog man exists. Chupacabra, that don't exist. Nessie might have existed at one time, but as much sonar pinging as they've done to that poor lake,
Mm. Mm.
it's a miracle there's any fish left. So,
Yeah, I would have to say, for such extravagant claims that where people are citing and seeing these, the only evidence that seems that might be coming back are just big dog canine footprints, which really doesn't say a whole lot because there are big wolves out there
yeah,
and big dogs out there.
yeah, and you experience that a lot up there in Minnesota.
Yeah,
And you've got a big Germanic population up there too.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but here's something that I got to throw out there, basically related to this about Dogman. The number of sightings that are being reported today on Facebook and all that, the numbers cannot support the population of Bigfoot in this country. I mean, every time I turn around, somebody's saying, "Oh, I had a Bigfoot sighting." Oh, okay, where was it at? Oh, it was at Lake Thunderbird, which is in the middle of Oklahoma City. You know, uh, people have gotten Bigfoot on their mind, and they see a shadow, and the first thing they say is Bigfoot. Well, here in Oklahoma, we probably got close to 5,000-6,000 Bigfoot, if that at the most. But if you take all the sightings that people keep saying that they're having, we'd have to have at least 1 million here in Oklahoma just for them to all be seen.
Right.
So, and the same goes for dogmen. People are having more and more sightings of dogmen, and the numbers just don't support it. I mean, they would have to have a big population of dogmen in this country to have all the sightings that these people are claiming. So, I'd like to believe everybody, but I have to take everything with a grain of salt because the numbers just don't match up. And this isn't AI talking. This is just common sense. So AI actually asked me if I wanted to be slapped in the face because there ain't no way the numbers add up. So,
and there's a lot of lack of common sense nowadays. It seems to be like in this field too. I have no problem saying that. Oh my gosh. And you're right. The evidence, the proof is always going to be remaining in the data.
Yeah. I mean, that's why everybody complains about, well, BFRO don't put all the sighting reports that get turned into them out there for everybody to see. Well, what people have to realize is about 90% of the stuff that the BFRO gets is garbage reports.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't believe people. It's just when you're standing there trying to tell us that you've seen a Bigfoot and it was sitting on the steps of City Hall, it's like, or it appeared in your bedroom, as an orb of light, and then it appeared, as a Bigfoot to you. It's like, come on now. I think you need to get back on your meds.
Sorry, I've said that too in the past.
And that's one thing that probably pisses off a lot of people at me in the community. Is because I tell it like I see it, and there's just no way that people can be seeing this many Bigfoot and not I mean, there's not that big of a population. There can't be. So
Yeah, I can say to kind of go back to the chupacabra, which there, if anybody's not familiar with the chupacabra, there's kind of two different versions. There's more like the U.S. Texas area version that's more dog-like, and then there's the Mexican chupacabra that's more like the typical goat sucker, and it looks like a lizard that stands up on two legs with the big spines on its back. There's two versions of the chupacabra. The Texas U.S. Version is a lot of the characteristics fit the thylacine. Um,
Hmm.
Now, there's a good possibility that it could be the thylacine hasn't gone extinct, and maybe that's part of it, or it could be mangy dogs. Um, then
yeah,
there's the Loch Ness monster, and then the dog man. I always try to keep it open minded. That's only
Mhm.
because I know that people on the outside looking in, when I'm talking about Bigfoot, they think I'm crazy. Where, because they've never seen one and they've never experienced one, they just don't have that open mind. So I personally have seen a dog man like creature. And so that was like a lesson to me. And don't throw out some of the more unique sort of experiences. I don't necessarily call them crazy, but if it's way out of this world, I just file it in my brain and move on with the direction that I was going with my research to begin with.
yeah,
Because I used to think that some of these varieties and versions of cryptids that were just so unique that the people had to be crazy. I think a lot of it is misidentification in a lot of ways. But then some of them, I think maybe they're actually seeing something. And I think that there is, I hate to get into government conspiracies, but I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on where um, they could be seeing something and maybe it's only one of something. And then when it's dead, it's gone. It's not really a, breeding.
yeah. Well, and we're just right above Texas. Thank God we'll always be on top of Texas. So, and that comes from an OU fan. Uh, but most of the most of the time when they say, "Oh, it's a chupacabra," and they do the testing, it comes back it's either a raccoon uh, that's got mange real bad or a dog,
Yeah.
and they've never had a "oh, we don't know what it is" scenario.
Yeah.
So, and then the dog men, it is possible that people are seeing a Bigfoot, but it's like chimpanzees. You know how their snouts are?
Hmm.
When it gets colder, their snouts get longer.
Hmm.
And the reason for that is when the air is colder, they're able to warm up the air more coming through their nostrils because their muzzle is a little bit bigger. It could be the same with the Bigfoot. That's what they're seeing.
Hmm.
And they just assume the bigger muzzle is a dog man. But
Interesting. I've never heard about that with the chimpanzees. Thanks for sharing that.
you're welcome.
Huh.
So,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Sherry was talking. She had a close encounter with Dogman 2011, Southeast Kentucky, and saw a Dogman and a Bigfoot in Southeast Oklahoma. Carl's in here. What's up, Carl? Yeah. Yeah, I think that of all the cryptids, I think that Dogman is a little bit more taboo. I think that true sightings of Dogman are a lot more rare than those of Bigfoot. But I haven't settled on what possibly could be going on there. I just know that there has been some really trusted people that I know of that's seen them, and then I saw one that kind of struggled to call a true dog man, but I saw a very canine, like very massive creature that came right up to me.
Yeah, just on the other side of the vehicle, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, no, it was like underneath me. I was sitting on top of my van, and it
Yeah,
came
the
up.
van.
Yeah,
Right. Wow.
yeah.
So,
What it is, I don't know, but all I know is that there's something weird, and maybe it is a variant of a type of Bigfoot. But this thing that I saw had a tail, a fluffy tail at that.
wow.
Yeah,
I remember that. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh. Wow. So 24, 26 sightings.
Yeah.
26. Yeah.
Wow. Out of the 26, I mean, how many would you say were light brown, reddish brown? Can you tell us about the color
Uh,
differential and variation?
I've actually seen the white one quite a bit. We believe he's the alpha male for the troop in our area because he's seen in like a 24-mile strip area. He'll go down and then come back around on the Arkansas side of things and then come back up a different route. And there's been sightings, not just mine, but other people's sightings of him going around. Uh, where the grass ball incident happened, uh, he actually walked up behind a old hunter that had been hunting for decades, and he thought it was one of his grandsons coming up behind him. So he just sat there and waited until they got closer, and when he turned around, uh, he looked up, and it was the white Bigfoot, and it looked down at him. And after it walked on by, he got up, took his pack and his rifle, went up to the house, and told everybody that he was done hunting forever. He just packed it up.
Hmm.
So,
Man. Um, with from what you're finding out, is there a different aggression level based on, say, darker ones, brown, reddish brown, black ones, white ones, on the color of their hair? Do you find them being more showing displays of aggression by maybe throwing rocks or how vocal they are?
well, the I've had a couple of times where the black-haired ones wasn't really aggressive, but they made it known that not to mess with them. Uh, I come up behind one who had we had set up a listening post on a big rock in the middle of this creek, and it was down there in the valley by where you got the camp at. Uh, and we had heard something walking in on the other side of the stream as we walked in, and it had stepped down into the creek just up from us. And when we shined our lights, it had stepped up and come down and stood right across the bank from us. So when we brought our lights back down, we highlighted him, and he turned around and went up the hill. So as was the way I do things, I took off after him.
Right.
But then I realized, crap, I ain't got nothing to protect myself with. So I hollered for my boy, and I said, bring me some bear spray or the gun.
Right. Yeah.
And he brought me the bear spray. So I was like, okay, well, I went up the hill, and I come into this little clearing up on top of the hill there. And I didn't see nothing. So I'm shining my light around like this, and I seen what looked like a shadow right across from me. And I come back, and as my light hit it, the Bigfoot stood up, and it was black haired, and it turned around and looked at me. And the look on his face was like, don't mess with me, dude. Don't mess with me. And so I was like, okay, I only got bear spray. This is not going to end good if I persist. So I went on back down. But and then in that same general area, that's where the four-wheeler got picked up on the trail, and it was by a black-haired Bigfoot.
Okay.
But it was doing that, I really do believe, to keep me from crashing into the two Bigfoot that was carrying the calf.
Okay.
Wow.
If it wanted to pull me off and basically kill me right there on the trail, there would have been nothing stopping it. But all
You're
it was
right.
trying to do is keep me from crashing into them, I do believe.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
seems like a lot of their intention is to just try to get when they have those sort of encounters with people, it seems like their intention is just to prevent some sort of encroaching on what they're doing. Um, because there's so many times it could have gotten really bad really fast, and it doesn't. If people pay attention and they keep their distance when they need to, everything will be okay. I feel like.
uh, I see Sherry Tango uh, made a comment, and I'd like to address that for a second, uh, about how she gets uh, offended when people get called delusional. Uh, the truth is, and Abe has been doing this almost as long as I have. We're basically in the same researcher class from the '90s.
Yeah.
Um, but after you listen to all the thousands of stories that we've listened to, uh, you know, there are some really delusional people out there. And I think after all the times that we've talked to people and done these interviews, uh, people need to realize a lot of times we're skeptical about what we're hearing because we've heard too many wild stories.
Yeah.
I had a woman tell me that there was a couple of mama Bigfoots living under her porch, and they had a bunch of babies, and they were taking puppies and stripping their hides off to put clothes on the baby Bigfoot. And the picture she sent to me was of a basically a porch and a umbrella and a clothesline for her yard, and was saying they're right there in the open. They're right there in the open. No, they're not right there in the open. She had went over the edge, and we've we actually did send researchers on site to just confirm everything, and she had just flat lost it. She believed too much of what she was seeing on TV and what she was reading, and that's been the big thing about the last 15 years. People have watched Finding Bigfoot too much. They've watched all this other stuff, and they've also listened to Sasquatch Chronicles, who's tried to convince everybody that Bigfoot was these crazy killer monsters. And people have got to realize that when Expedition Bigfoot goes out or Finding Bigfoot goes out, oh, they got all this activity. No, it's all entertainment value, because when you go out in the woods, you may go on 4 or 5 expeditions and not a thing happen. And then you go out on one expedition and all heck breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I can understand why, hearing all of these wild reports can make you be a little bit more cautious about other things that you hear. So I get that. Do you remember the micro Bigfoot? That was a thing for a while. Do you remember that? When people were coming out and they were like, look at the micro Bigfoot on my shoulder. Does anybody remember that?
So, I didn't get a chance to answer Justin Murray's question.
I didn't even see it. Justin Murray.
Yeah, the Cimarron River.
It just popped up, I think it was, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, basically, yeah, I have heard of him in that area. Jim Whitehead, he does a lot of research on the western side of Oklahoma and some of the central part, and there has been a lot of activity in that area. And let me say this. Yeah, there's not that much woods out there. There's a lot of open prairie and stuff. But when you look out in that field and you see what you think is a buffalo or a cow going across there, you might, slow down and take a better look. It's probably a Bigfoot down in 4x4 mode trying to get across that field instead of a buffalo or a cow. I mean, that's one of the ways that they could get through those open prairies like that during daytime.
Nice. Yeah, Justin Murray, he's great. Love him. He's awesome. All right. Here's Sherry. Creatures, beings know when someone is open and safer to approach. Women are generally safer, approachable. Women have more experiences and sightings, in my opinion. I think the sightings, I don't know, Sherry, I don't know. I'm just going to touch on this. I don't know if that's the case or if it's just they have different types of experiences. What do you think?
Well, go ahead, Abe.
I was just going to say, I don't think women will have more experiences. When we look at the data that's out there, it's men that are usually having the experiences while they're out there hunting or they're out there. And we know women. I honestly, I think the data would show if we were to run an analysis, even an AI analysis on it, that men are the ones that are having the higher amount of sightings.
I think you'd also have to consider how many more men are out in the woods than women, though, if you're going to factor that. So you have to consider the amount of men.
The data analysis that AI did actually showed that 79% of men are in the sightings, to where the women are like in 18%. So,
and here's the other side of that coin too. I mean, women are starting to get out more and carry sidearms and feeling more comfortable, which is great. That's an awesome thing. I'm glad to see that. Whether they're out in the woods as well. But if a Bigfoot is picking up and has all these powers to know when somebody does have a sidearm or is armed, wouldn't they kind of shun away from them as well? So I guess that's a double-edged sword, so to speak.
Well, one thing that this is one thing that I've learned over the years. If you present yourself as non-threatening, I mean, I admit I'm a pretty good sized old boy, and I don't go out there in tactical gear carrying a sword and knives and guns and all this. And then you see some of these guys that pump iron, big old muscled up, can't even, turn because they've got so many muscles.
Can't hit your own back.
Yeah, you're a long way from that point, to be honest.
I know.
But, they present themselves as a alpha type person in the field, and they don't have these encounters because they come in and the Bigfoot, they're like, screw this, we'll go someplace else. They'll go find maybe a family that's camped out and they'll toss a couple of rocks to see, them react, and then they'll go on. But they're not going to stick around where somebody's walking around with 2 or 3 different weapons. And, I'm pretty sure they know what a gun is because they've had to see deer hunters in the woods with this stick that puffs smoke and makes a loud noise, and then the deer falls over dead. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to figure out that those sticks are bad for us. Let's don't get around them.
Yeah.
So, I do presentations where I tell people, look, if you really want to have an encounter, go set you up a little campfire, get 3 other people, and you all sit around that campfire and you face each other. And you're not just looking at the other person. What you're doing is you're looking behind the other person in the woods.
Yeah, get each other 6. Yep.
And we've had so much success because the Bigfoot will come up thinking, okay, they're not looking right at me, and they'll get up close. That happened to me and 3 other researchers down in Honubby. They come right up behind us, and it just so happened my boy was with me, and he had seen this limb moving up and down behind another researcher. So he asked for the the thermal scope or night scope. Yeah, it was a night
Mm-hmm.
scope, and it was one of those that goes on a rifle.
Okay.
And just as he was raising it up, the Bigfoot raised the limb up and leaned forward, and he could see the face of the Bigfoot. And of
Wow.
course, since it was a big old scope, it looked like it was right there in front of him.
Wow.
And he started hyperventilating, and I thought, "Oh man, we're going to take him down." We was way up in the mountains there in Honubby, and I thought, I hope he don't go into shock before we can get him to the hospital. But
Wow.
we've had great success with that, and that's what I recommend. If you want to have a sighting, go out there in the woods, not in your backyard. Go in the woods, sit there facing each other, but watch the person behind you.
Yep.
Yeah, that way you guys can cover everything, watch each other's backs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Very cool.
Wow. I really appreciate all the work you've done super early on. I mean, you've been really working towards building the acknowledgement of Bigfoot for a long time. And I mean, your group has spread Australia, Canada, US. I mean, I think that the amount that it's spread just is a testament to the effort and the work that you've put in to this. So I think you are a great commodity to the field, and
Thank you.
I can't wait until your website's back up and we can all go out and check it out. I'll throw it up here again. So the main website is the MABRC, correct?
Yeah.
And then you can get to
it's got links. It's got links to the Squatchopedia. You'll be able to get to all the other sites from the main website.
Yeah. And then you also have the Project Valkyrie on Facebook that people can check out
and
as well.
the MABRC is on Facebook. We do have a public page, that got to keep everybody in touch, because not everybody can put the Facebook app on their phone and be in contact everywhere.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit more to get to the website, just because it don't really shrink down into a mobile phone that well.
Yeah. It's not. It's harder to get to everything on the phone. So yeah, I suggest everybody go check you out on Project Valkyrie on Facebook and MABRC on Facebook, and I'll kind of keep an eye out and see when your website comes back up again.
Hopefully that lazy bum of a IT guy will get
not you, right?
Yeah, well, he's been kind of lax here lately. I might have to get a whip and whip him a couple of times and get him going.
How about you, Abe? You got anything else?
Well, how is Jim Whitehead? Is he doing better? Yeah, he's doing okay.
Who was it?
Jim Whitehead.
Oh yeah, Jim's doing great. He's basically getting ready to do the Arkansas Bigfoot Conference in September, and I'll be there with the Valkyrie to show everybody, and we've got a lot of new recordings and stuff like that we'll be showing while we're down there. And then of course next March we got the Oklahoma Bigfoot Conference here in Stillwell down there at I think, Abe, you come to the one at the community building, didn't you?
Yeah, the community, exactly, yes.
Yeah, so we've moved down to a place called CC Camp, which is just, you look out on the hill behind it, and our research areas are on the other side of the hill.
Oh,
that's how close it is. So, it's really a great place. If you make it back down this way, love to see you and
you
hang out with you. And if I can ever make it up that way, I'll come up to the
NBC. Yeah, it'd be great to have you, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It'd be a great surprise. Kong. Can we talk about Kong? And
Uh,
how this one got its name?
so who we talking about?
Kong, the footprint. You guys, I think you guys call the creature Kong, like as in King Kong.
Oh, Kong. Yeah, that was down in Big Jim's area, and
Yeah.
it was if I remember right, because this is really his story to tell. It was like a 12-foot tall female that they got too close to the juvenile, and she come up and actually took a step up on the porch of their cabin, if I remember right. And he said that was the only time that he could really say that he was terrified, him and the other researchers.
Huh.
So
And the print, how big was the print?
uh, I want to say that they found one that was like 22 inches.
It was about 12, almost 2 feet of a footprint.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's 2 feet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Jim would be another good one to have on sometime. Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Um, Gee whiz. There's so much. What was your scariest sighting?
Uh, my scariest sight had to have been when the four wheeler got picked up, because that is the only time that they said I was in shock. And I really do not remember turning my four wheeler around and heading back. And what it was, it was during the symposium, and we were taking people out and letting them sit in listening posts. And one of the things that we've learned about our valley research area is if you zoom up in there with a four wheeler and come back, the Bigfoot in that valley will come out to a certain point to make sure that you actually left. And so the game plan was, and this was just really for show for the people, and we wasn't charging nobody. This was a free thing. You come, all you had to do is bring your flashlight and sit with us. But I didn't put my GoPro or my thermal on the four wheeler, because I was just going to run up there, come back out for show. And as I was cruising up through there, I come around this S curve in the trail, and I seen these two Bigfoot carrying a calf up the trail from me. And all of a sudden, the back of my four wheeler goes and gets picked up, and I'm looking straight down at the ground, and I look over and I see this thing's shoulder, which is black hair, and it set me down. And then I don't remember nothing until I got back to the river crossing where the listening post was, and they said that my muffler was red hot, the motor was red hot, steam was coming off of it, and I was in shock. And they got me calmed down, and they got me back up to camp. And I was coming out of it pretty quick. But they looked at the back bumper of my four wheeler, which is a Polaris 500, and had grabbed my bumper on the back. It had broke the welds, and you can still see the fingerprints on it. And so Compressor Mike, he comes up to me. He goes, "You need to go back." I'm like, are you serious? And he goes, "Oh, don't be such a wuss." And I was like, "I'll go if you go." So he got on, and we went back down there, and they had put a big old huge limb across the trail where it all happened.
Wow.
Basically, it was, don't come down this trail. And but yeah, that was the one time that I was in shock about what happened.
Wow.
And it really freaked out my MABRC researchers, because it's like, it's like that one new one that I told you way back there. She said, if you see DW running, don't ask us questions, keep up. And she was like, holy cow, DW's in shock. But it was just, I never anticipated the four-wheeler getting picked up. And I'm a hefty old boy, and that was a big old Polaris four-wheeler, so it was pretty heavy. But it picked it up like it was nothing and put me at a dead stop. Of course, I was only doing probably, 10, 15 miles down that trail. But
Wow.
but yeah,
Wow.
that's been the one that really now anytime I'm on a four-wheeler or side by side, I got a GoPro going or the thermals going.
All
I
right.
ain't missing that opportunity again.
Good on you. Good on you, bro. Will you be producing or making any more like in the field guide episodes?
Yeah, me and Rebellistic had discussed a few years ago about we got all this knowledge that we'd like to convey to the younger researchers,
Yeah.
and I wrote so many books on how to analyze markers, how to analyze video, audio, photos, thermal video, but we're uh, sorry, I just seen a question there that
Oh, okay.
no, the other one.
Yep.
So to just put it into perspective, Mr. Harrington, his agenda did not fit in with the rest of our agenda, and he backstabs people so bad that we parted ways with him, and he does his thing hopefully, and I'll do my thing. Don't wish no ill on him, but he's in it for fame and fortune, and I'm in it just to prove that Bigfoot exists.
Right on. Right on. What was I? Where we were going?
Well, here's a question. How did you say how big the Kong print was?
It was 22 or 24 inches.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's like almost 2 feet long.
Yeah.
Well, it is 2 feet long, 24 inches.
Yeah.
And there was, I believe, 4 researchers that seen this creature at that size.
So yeah, at 12 feet, that's a big girl.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Absolutely.
It's not a mama you want to mess with.
No, not at all.
But Big Jim, if you get him on here, he'll be able to tell the story a lot better.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. God dang, I had the pleasure of meeting him, and monkey balls. Can you talk about them? I remember the monkey balls. Yeah. Can you describe what monkey balls are?
Now, are you talking about the grass balls?
Yeah.
Okay. So the grass balls, we were in this field that had just had a string of sightings, and we were there with the landowner and his wife and their son, me and my wife, and we had seen a Bigfoot over in the corner of the field, but when I turned the IR on my night vision, it had ducked down. So we're sitting there, and the landowner's wife is sitting there playing on her phone, and of course it got her lit up, and all of a sudden she starts getting hit by what she thought was bugs. And after about the third one, her son went over there and was trying to find that bug. He was going to kill it because he thought it was the same bug, just continuing to hit her because of the light. And that's when he seen 3 of the grass balls laying there. So we picked them up and looked at them and put them on the little table in between our chairs, and we're all surrounding them, looking at them. And another one comes in right above us and lands right in the middle of us. And we get pelted by about 10 of these grass balls. And what it is something was taking grass and weaving it together and making basically some kind of grass ball, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Right. Yeah.
And so we collected all of them. And finally, I thought, okay, well, I'm going to walk out towards where I think they're coming from. And I was a little bit leery because they had 6-foot rattlesnakes out there in this field and stuff.
Oh, geez.
So I walk out there and it stopped. And, we didn't have no more grass balls, but we left the audio recorder out there and, didn't hear nothing. But we went back the next day and interviewed the landowner and his wife, and they gave us their version of everything, which was in line with, what me and the wife thought. And we went to where I thought that the grass balls might have been coming from, and sure enough, there's a big old huge spot where something had been laying down behind a bunch of tall weeds and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see where it had been picking the grass to weave together.
No way. That's so cool.
So, and at the time, my grandson, Izzy, I don't know if you remember Izzy from the...
I was going to ask you about Izzy, yeah.
Yeah. He was like 6 or 7, and he tried to put the grass balls, tried to make grass balls, and he couldn't do it even with his small fingers. So... Wow. It was like, okay, so was this possibly a juvenile Bigfoot that, had created them? But you could throw them maybe 8 or 9 feet at the most. But this thing was throwing them, 15, 20 feet at us. So.
Wow. That's wild. That's very unique. I've never heard of that before.
Very
interesting.
I was trying to get around to sending you some pictures to show on here, but I was out there working on we're putting a privacy fence up around the backyard
a lot of work.
So I was out there working on that, and time got away from me. Trying to protect the we've got the Valkyrie, and then we got what we call the Beast. They're both side by sides, and we're trying to keep them from being stolen.
Oh yeah.
So putting that privacy fence up around is gonna
it's a good idea.
Protect them.
Heck yeah. Oh, bro, I mean, it sounds like we'll have to have you back on again with some audio, some pictures. And I know we're at just the tip of the iceberg. I say this with a lot of people. I've known you for so many years, and there's just so much more. But yeah, I think I'd like to have you come back on sometime, maybe share some pictures and some audio. That'd be great.
Yeah, and I'll definitely make sure to send a picture of the grass ball so y'all can show that to everybody.
Or any other pictures or videos or even audio that you want to share. We can share it all. So yeah, we'd love to have you back on again. And I mean, Aid, you were talking about, you say that to a lot of researchers, but that's because we've had a lot of great longtime researchers on this show.
Right.
They've done this for so long. They have so much to talk about and share. So I get it. And yeah, same goes for you.
Yeah, and I know you don't hear this a lot, but thank you for all that you have done and your documentation and your record keeping of pretty much everything that you see or comes your way. I know you got like a place for it to be stored just in case somebody wants to say, hey, look what I caught. And you can be like, no, I don't think so. And I see you doing that. So, I mean, and you're right. I think we do have to police our own in the community as well. And so my hat's off to you. As I mentioned, you're a guy that's stand up, a straight shooter, and I do look up to you. And so thank you for, I guess you could say, leading the way for a lot of researchers, and just paving that path and telling everybody how it is and sticking to your guns. And it's not always easy. I know that when it's as simple as drinking the same Kool-Aid. But, you're definitely cut from a different cloth, and it shows, and that's what I appreciate. So thank you, W.
Well, thank you for all that. I'm a believer. I'm a knower, however they use those terms. I mean, I've seen the Bigfoot. I know they exist. But what I can't believe is 99% of the stuff being posted on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. You know, like I said, the numbers just don't add up anymore.
Mm, yeah. Yep. I mean, I got a text message last year last year from a woman who was talking about the reptilians, and I'll have to read it to you sometime.
Okay.
Um, for reptilians and fish. So, if you know, for all the people who are coming into this or watching this, what do you want to let be known when it comes to Bigfoot research or into the Bigfoot community, or people who are just starting to maybe begin to research? Any tips or advice?
The best thing to do is, and I use this from the old newsletter. Uh, dang nabbit, I want to say Ray Crow.
Oh,
He always said, keep your skepticals on.
I love it.
You know, be skeptical of everything. Even if Bigfoot comes up and slaps you senseless in the woods, be skeptical of what you saw. Try to debunk your own stuff before you put it out there, and always use possible and probable.
Mhm.
Don't never post something and say it's a Bigfoot,
Yes.
because you will get ate up big time over that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Again, where can people find your website and your Facebook and stuff?
Well, we're on Facebook, the MABRC, Mid America Bigfoot Research Center. We also have the Bigfoot Field Guide on Facebook. We have Project Valkyrie. We even have a Squatchopedia. Now, I don't have all the content that we have on the websites, but they have links that will take you to the websites from the Facebook pages.
Is the Bigfoot Field Guide still on YouTube?
Yeah.
Excellent.
We put a bunch of it back up. We had to take it down because a former member who did some of our videos threw some strikes at us for using his content, even though he put copyright MABRC on it. So, but we've got it back up now. All of our Bigfoot field guides are up. We've got a whole bunch of our people that have spoke at conferences. We've got their presentations online. We even got a presentation from Bigfoot. And what it is I dressed up in a Bigfoot costume, and we did kind of a little presentation, and
Cute.
everybody seemed to really enjoy it, and it's on the YouTube channel.
Oh, hilarious.
It'd be great if it was Bigfoot doing a presentation on people.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you've ever seen the books called Me Bigfoot, Me Still Alive. You know,
Yeah.
it talks in halting English. So that's what my presentation was, you know.
Oh, man.
Cool.
You know, me Bigfoot, me come into town, and I got the chief of police to put handcuffs on me while I was in the Bigfoot costume, and we took a picture of that and put up there, and it was like,
Funny.
Bigfoot come in town, Bigfoot got arrested, Bigfoot ain't going to come into town no more, you know.
Oh my gosh, that's great. That is great. Well, thank you again, and thank you to all of our. I appreciate you coming on, buddy, and thank you to everybody who's tuned in and is watching this in the archive. We sure do appreciate everybody for tuning in at the Folds Mysteries.
Yes, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone in the chat, and thank you again, DW, for coming on. And we'll
You're
have
welcome.
to have you on again.
All right, thank you.
God bless, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.